Welcome to Unqualified Uprising. Sorry, I missed my cue, but we are back. It's been a little bit of a hiatus, I guess. We were supposed to do a Super Bowl show, which I'm going to tell you all about today. But that happened to be an extreme disaster. But we're going to get into that. It's February 19th. It's a Thursday. It's about 7 o'clock in upstate New York. There is a winter weather advisory. And it's strange because we had a winter weather advisory last night and we got absolutely nothing, not even a fucking flurry. So I don't know if I have to go into work early tomorrow or whatever. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? But let's get to the meat and potatoes. First of all, Unqualified Uprising. I'm your host, Mike. Like and subscribe on YouTube and Rumble and comment and do whatever. Notice I have headphones on. That's. I'm gonna level with you, folks. I'm gonna go a little bit. I don't necessarily have a script, but I'm gonna go a little bit off the cuff right now. So we were gonna do a Super Bowl show. We were literally gonna, podcast before the Super Bowl started and have a gay old merry time in the basement and try to put out a bunch of content. Let me tell you about how that went. So I have I'm a strange animal. As you can see, I'm fidgeting over here. I'll stop fidgeting, but I'm a strange animal. It's hard for me to do something for myself. It's easy for me to do stuff for my wife, my friends, the neighbors, whichever neighbor, a guy on the fucking street. I like holding the door open for people. I like just being a generally nice person because I feel like if you're nice to somebody, they might be nice to somebody else. So that's I'm not trying to sound I'm not holier than thou. I get it, nothing like that. But I try to be nice to everybody. So when it comes to myself, when it comes to doing anything for myself, it's a goddamn battle. And I mean specifically for myself, whether it be concentrating on this podcast and trying to make something of it, concentrating on our brand and trying to make something of that, doing anything for my personal betterment, reading a book, doing fucking anything, doing some research on something. I do nothing for the betterment of myself. I try to do everything for the betterment of the people around me and I guess the greater society. So when it comes to trying to put together this podcast and trying to, do I'm supposedly the radio guy, so I'm supposed to know how to do all this shit. So um I had a lot of I had and have a lot of apprehension doing anything that could possibly lead to anything positive for myself. I know it sounds incredibly strange. If I work overtime, it's to buy something for this house. If I, make a big purchase, it's to buy something for myself that I'll just fuck around with, either whether it be Legos or whether it be something fucking stupid. But and I like personal growth. I'm a fan of personal growth. It's not like I won't try to learn anything, but I won't do anything necessarily that'll have 1000% positive impact on myself. I guess you would say I don't necessarily have a hobby, and I know the worst excuse or reason to start a podcast or to start any kind of brand or to try to do anything with yourself in entertainment or media. uh the goal should not be to make money. The goal should be to send a message, spread a message, uh do something, get your name out there, network, whatever. Have a good time, just have it as a hobby, or you want to know stuff. So like Joe Rogan questions everything. And that literally should be the name of his show still, because all he does is question shit. And um, that's kind of the same thing I want to do. But I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I just had to give you a little bit of a backstory. So we had tried to do a podcast, Joe, myself, Adam, and Tom. And the studio is in my basement. All the equipment is in my basement. Um, Adam's been coming to my house for years. Same with Joe, and Tom to a lesser extent. But everything's kind of, excuse me, focused in my basement. So naturally, we all want to be in person, and it's kind of hard to pin everybody down. Adam and me, our schedules are kind of open. Tom works nights. Joe works during the day, but he's all over the place. He's the Dos Equis, most interesting man in the world.
Something.
He could be who knows where he is right now. He could be on Mars right fucking now, and I would not be surprised if he called me from Spain or Prague right now. I would be shocked that he got a passport that quick, but I wouldn't be shocked that he's in some strange country. But anyways, everything's centered around the basement. So I obviously come to my house and I'm here. Adam gets out of work, comes here. Joe gets out of work, comes here. Tom doesn't have to go to work until 9 o'clock, but he got here and immediately said, I have to leave. So I said, oh, okay, I'll see you later, man. He had family stuff he had to do. Joe, myself, and Adam came down in the basement, and my so I guess I got to go off on another tangent. So I don't really get yelled at a lot by anybody. I don't get put in my place by anybody because, to tell you the truth, I don't try to step out of line to anybody or portray something I'm not or do anything to offend or set someone else off. But I'm also not a perfectionist. So um I thought I had everything with the podcast set up. It wasn't set up, and my buddy Joseph, he needs things set up because if things aren't set up, immediately, what's going on? What are we doing? What's going on? When are we making money? So the comments start. So that immediately sends me into a fucking fit of rage. And I want to just start, fucking strangling everything. But whatever. I don't do anything. I just grin and take it. Um, and this is not to disparage my producer, but my producer's not very familiar with OBS and not really. Let's face it. I dragged him in here kicking and fucking screaming. He didn't want to do this shit. That's why he's off camera, Adam. Right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's good. Your one statement during your one word during the podcast. But Adam can roll with the punches. If we ever make it big, Adam's a good guy to just have at your party. You can go over and talk to him, and he'll talk to you, and then you can walk away, and he won't ever talk to you again. It's the greatest. It's perfect. Or he'll just sit there and stare at his phone and barely acknowledge you. He's like the perfect house guest. Sometimes I almost forget he's here. Uh, Joseph is more of a boisterous personality. He's got a big personality like me. But Joe has an unbelievable talent that only one other person on the earth has, which would be my wife. Joe can somehow shut me down, point at me, put me in my place, yell at me, tell me things that you shouldn't tell another human being. Tells me I dress like a bum. My fashion sense is awful. I don't know anything. So that night, which I believe was maybe a Tuesday or whatever, that night was an absolute disaster. Not to the extent of what actually what inevitably happened the next time we hung out. So we've established that Joseph needs things set up. We've established that Adam is the quiet observer and won't necessarily say anything. If you really get on him, he'll push back a little bit and tell you to back off. But Adam's kind of non-confrontational. Me, I am exceptionally confrontational about everything all the time. I probably shouldn't be, but I am. Um, and we got the fact that I'm kind of neurotic about shit when it's actually shit that's going to be positive for me. It's really hard for me to establish a foothold and really, really just give myself to something and put my real like work ethic. Like I get up and go to work every fucking day, 7 to 4, every single day, with overtime included. Whatever overtime I work, I work. I get up like a normal fucking human being and I go to work. It's really hard for me to do this shit on the side and really put my full like the full extent of my passion and love into this. And once again, I'm supposed to be the radio guy. So it's a double fuck you to these guys because they're like, listen, you're the radio guy and this is your idea. You don't even want to fucking try. Like it sounds so counterintuitive. It sounds like it sounds insane, but I'm really trying to break through it. So after our last debacle with Joseph, Adam, and myself, I broke down and I bought a Rode Procaster. It's not the Procaster 2. It's not that I couldn't afford it. I just didn't feel I wanted to pay my credit card off and not necessarily. I put another $400 on it. I didn't put another $900 on it. So I broke down and I bought a mixer. And the funny thing is that $40 mixer I had before doesn't do anything compared to the new mixer I got, the Rodecaster the Rodecaster 1. It's just a regular Rode Procaster or whatever. It's very good. It's very cool. It's cool looking. It's got all sorts of buttons on it. I'm looking at it right now. I can actually see my levels. And I thought everything was good. I thought it was all set up. I came down here. I fucked with it. I really tried. So this is last weekend, the weekend before, or the week before Super Bowl. I was down here every fucking night, smoking cigarettes and fucking over here, trying to get the audio right, trying to get everything right. All the cameras set up. I got the lights all set up, and I ran the wires all through the fucking ducting and everything. Sunday arrives, and I'm not one of those people that make fun of mental health or whatever. I have fucking bad anxiety when I have to do things that I really don't want to necessarily do, which somehow turns into this podcast sometimes. It's fucking strange. I don't know. I don't have a window into my brain and I don't necessarily know how I function sometimes. But I had real bad anxiety about the Super Bowl podcast. I was like, listen, these guys are coming here. They're going to be here at 2 o'clock. We're going to podcast all the way up into the game. The game probably doesn't kick off until like 7:20, maybe 6:30, whatever. We can fucking podcast, put out 20 episodes. Da, 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 da. So I was pumping myself up all fucking morning, drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, getting ready. I don't necessarily know who showed up first. I don't know if it was Adam. I don't know if it was Tom.
It was Tom.
It was Tom. Tom showed up first. Um, and then you.
Yeah, and then Joe was after me.
And Joe was bringing in the rear. Joe was pulling in the rear. So we normally order out when we order takeout when we do this podcast. Whatever. I'm calling these guys over, so I foot the bill. I don't care about that. But on that particular Super Bowl Sunday, we were having fresh cooked lasagna, and I mean real fucking lasagna. It was good. And a bunch of other nonsense. Joe brought chips and dip. Tom brought soda. Everything seemed to be going all okay. Didn't need to take a fucking Xanax or anything. I was okay. We came down here and I was still okay. Everything's okay. Tom and me are probably joking about Al Bundy, and Adam and Joe are talking about, well, Joe's probably talking about Trump to Adam, and Adam's probably going, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But regardless of what was going on, um, we all sat down and got ready to podcast. Oh yeah. Special Super Bowl show. We got the home team. We got all four guys. We're rocking. The studio's looking nice. Got a fucking television. Got this new Roadcaster. Oh snap! So we immediately get into it. We start trying to test shit. We start trying to do shit. Um, Everything seems to be going fine until we pull up the recording and play the recording back. And the recording sounds um like if I went to a deserted mine in Russia somewhere, like 7 miles under the under the ground, whatever's underneath that, that's how it sounded. It was like,
That sounded fine.
yeah, it sounded fine, sounded fine. So I was immediately torqued out. Now I didn't have Tom and Joe all set up. It was just Adam and I testing sound, and whatever happened from the night before, because I was up till like 11:30 on Saturday night, like just fucking with it, tweaking with it. Okay, it sounds good, and obviously it didn't sound good, and I don't know what the fuck I was listening to, even though I'm the radio guy, but it sounded awful. These guys show up, we're ready to go. Adam and I are testing it. It sounds fucking worse than awful. It sounds awful, awful times a million. It was the worst thing I ever fucking heard. So I try I try to compose myself, and I go over and try to get Joe set up. I said, if I can't set my shit up and it don't sound good, Joe's good to test with. Joe's got a he's almost curt with his words. His tone sounds offensive. It's not. Even when he's saying offensive stuff, even when he's saying non-offensive stuff, his tone sounds offensive. He's very curt with his words, very quick. That's Joe in a nutshell. Trump, 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 Trump.
Can do no wrong. Can
Trump,
do no
yeah,
wrong.
I
Can
love
do no
Trump.
wrong.
So I go over and I start trying to set Joe up for a test. Now, this is completely my fault. And I completely reacted incredibly stupid, but I got to tell you what happened. So the mic from almost a year and a half of Joe fiddling with it by my direction, the screw that the mic is on, not plugged into the actual screw that the mic goes on to sit in, is kind of stripped. So I moved the microphone in front of Joe. And once again, this is my fault. I put something in front of somebody, and immediately Joe grabs the fucking mic and tries to move it, and the mic falls off the fucking screw. So I, and of course, I'm standing over him, so it's even fucking worse. Now I completely lose my composure and go, "Don't fucking touch it. Don't fucking touch the microphone." Well, Joe ain't no fucking pussy. Joe's a can of corn. So Joe goes, "Well, hey, I gotta tell you, you keep talking to me like this. This is gonna be a real short podcast." So now you gotta understand. I've had massive anxiety about this podcast for probably a week and a half, if not longer. Just not, I'm not talking sleepless nights. I'm not losing my fucking hair. I was just nervous about trying to accommodate all these guys, have everything on my end work, and have everything go off flawlessly, which it never fucking does because it's my goddamn life. Nothing is ever perfect. Oh, the hotel room's right. Well, guess what? The sheets are probably dirty. The plane, or you're on the right plane. Well, guess what? It's out of gas. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Um, so I got that, and now I got Joe, who outweighs me by 100 pounds, and if he decided to get up and club me, he would just probably knock me into the concrete. But now I got Joe telling me
Berating you.
if I continue to talk to him like this, we're gonna have an issue. And then I got my buddy Tom coming out of the bullpen like I signaled him in like from second base. Here comes Tom telling me to fucking relax. And it's you gotta you don't be doing that. Don't be saying whatever the fuck he said. I don't even know what he said. I was seeing fucking the reddest red you could possibly see. Whatever red is the reddest, more red than that. So it was fucking embarrassing. My wife and her friend, which is also my friend, he was down here. Adam had to deal with it because he was just sitting in the fucking. I cast a wide berth when I'm fucking yelling and getting pissed. So Adam got caught in the he was in the trenches for it. So Tom said something. I don't even know what the fuck he said. And I snapped and I said, listen, I've had nothing but goddamn anxiety about this whole fucking thing for almost a week. Everything is going wrong. Absolutely everything that could go wrong is going wrong. I really need a little bit of cohesion out of the both of you. I need you to put your personal feelings aside right now and just do what I say when I say it for like the next 3 fucking minutes. Joe did what he Joe comprendo. He understood what I was saying. Tom pushed back a look. Tom tried to push back a little bit, and this is already this is piggybacking on another fight we had. We already had a big fight on the podcast, which maybe someday if we get famous, I'll release that episode. But we actually have an episode where we fucking all just sat here and argued because I'm a prick. And sometimes these guys are passive aggressive. So my wife had to see me at my fucking worst, screaming at my friends in my basement in front of cameras, going, God damn it, what the hell is wrong with you goddamn guys? Can't you fucking guys focus for 2 minutes? I need some cohesion out of you motherfuckers. And I think Adam chirped in a couple times, said, I am, or I do, or some like random adjectives or random yeah, okay, like whatever. You chirped in every now and then. I don't know what the hell you said.
I don't think
I wasn't
I don't think
concerned
I
with what
said
you were
anything.
saying. You weren't saying anything that would
Enrage you
enrage
further.
me. No, you were eh,
No, because I know when to shut up and just go with it and not fucking be passive aggressive fucks and just shut up and listen to what you're saying and fucking do what you're saying. Ask or
for 2 minutes.
yeah.
For 2 fucking minutes. Dude, if a random person came up to me and said, "Listen, can you do what I need for 30 seconds?" And well, that sounds a little, no, probably
Give
not
me a
that.
hand for a
Yeah,
second.
any like that. Yes, I would probably help them. Like I'm on the street with my job. I see people doing shit, and if I was walking by and they were loading something, I would fucking help them do that. I would pick up something for an old lady. I'd fucking get a dog out of traffic. I beeped the horn at a bear once and made it run away. So, I do my part. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So after the initial blow up, we had that, and it's great because uh, it's almost us as a society. We never talk about men, just men, not women. Women are all about talking about shit. Men don't really talk about their fights after they have them, like friends. Like if men friends fight, we're not all about talking about it after. But I like to talk. If you can't fucking tell, I'm trying to start a worldwide podcast in my basement. I like to talk. I've been talking for 24 minutes, straight. So I'm replaying that shit in my mind. Just all this shit. The absolute no, I get no fucking leeway from any of these motherfuckers down here. Other than producer Adam. Adam gives me a little bit of leeway because he don't know what's going on. And I can't blame Joe and Tom because I'm supposed to know what's going on. So that whole day, it turned into like the worst, my worst fear on that day happened. The only thing that could have made it worse is if like a helicopter crashed into my house after everybody left. That would have been the only thing that would have made it worse. Or if I stubbed my toe before I went to bed, or if the dog shit on my head while I was sleeping, something. It was like the worst uh day of an aspiring media, semi media. Uh, I'm trying to be a media correspondent or a media persona or whatever the fuck I'm trying to do. I'm trying to run a talk show on YouTube and Rumble and wherever else will take us, or whoever else will take us. So, and as you can hear now, the audio seems to be a lot better, and the visuals are probably okay. Um, New microphone, new roadcaster, like I said. And um what actually ended up happening was I got a guy from my job who's a computer guy, a real computer guy. Not as no, I don't mean it like that. This dude is extremely articulate with a computer, I guess I would say. Joe's really good with a computer, but not with this kind of shit. Joe can do your taxes.
I wouldn't trust him to do my
I trust him
taxes.
to do my taxes. So I had the computer guy, the IT guy from my fucking job, come to my house. Now, first of all, his kid is the one that got my cameras hooked up. So kudos to him. And so we had to get the big gun computer guy, the mad space wizard from my job to come over here. And he came over on Saturday. Him and his son showed up. I'll call him Easy E and the Big C. So obviously that's a code word, code names, but I don't blow up people's spots that aren't here. So the Easy E come down into the basement and looks at my setup and goes, okay. And I go over to my bar and I light a smoke and I smoke like maybe half of my cigarette. And he comes over, he goes, okay, I'm all done. I think he was here for 3 minutes, and probably at 3 minutes and 22 seconds, all my audio issues were fixed. Everything was fixed. Um, we were good on our entire setup, except that we were not recording with the Roadcaster. We just had the Roadcaster on and figured if we were recording in OBS, the Roadcaster would naturally capture it, which it seems like it was because the levels were moving. But because I didn't hit record, nothing digital, nothing from our voices came from this into that computer. So what ended up happening is you got the desktop audio for all of us. And that's why it sounded like a garbled fucking mess, or it sounded like we were broadcasting from the Lincoln Tunnel or under the ocean. So hopefully it shouldn't sound like that anymore. It should be crisp. It should be clear. I should sound like Walter Cronkite and telling you about the massive explosion at Chernobyl and what shall we do? The Soviet Union could possibly collapse. I don't even know if Walter Cronkite was alive during that. But the moral of the story is I was defeated. I was a man defeated. I told my wife I almost didn't want to do this shit anymore. This is before the Space Wizard came over. When the Space Wizard left, I felt a lot better. But it was from Sunday. We tried the podcast on Super Bowl Sunday to Saturday, where I really contemplated not doing this shit. I was really like, I really like podcasting, but the fucking the technology side of it is just not me. It's just not something I'm even interested in. Well, once the Mad Wizard left and Big C left, I guess you can say my passion ignited a little bit. A little bit. I was able to get some shit done, and Adam and I tried some shit tonight, but we couldn't necessarily figure out the audio. But we did it for like 10 minutes, couldn't figure it out, and then watched some dash cams and felt better about our lives. I It's hard. It's hard. You got to understand. It's someone coming to grips with their own stupid mental illness. This is a real dumb mental illness. On the scale of mental illness, this is in between like biting your nails and fucking scratching your head. This is really stupid, but it's my problem, and I'm gonna try to beat it. And we're going to try to get out maybe a couple more episodes tonight on this beautiful Thursday night, balmy 35 degrees in upstate New York. But I think we're going to leave it there. Hopefully our audio not only stays good, but maybe possibly improves. And I'm going to try to keep up with a little bit more of the technology around here. I promise. And I'll join you again soon. I really wanted to tell you about that Super Bowl debacle. And I got some other stupid shit to tell you. News is moving so fucking fast, we can barely keep up. And we don't do this for a full time job, so it's hard. But I'll be back to talk to you soon. This has been Mike from Unqualified Uprising. Bye for now. Like and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, and wherever else you see this stupid podcast. Bye for now.